Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series. And today we're going to be doing a voiceover of a recent sketch I did. Now, I actually did a batch of sketches. Most of them were around like 5 to 7 minutes ish. And the reason why they're about that long or that short is because I'm recording with my, hopefully, you can notice it in the video. I'm recording with my iPhone, or it's actually my sister's old iPhone. I mean, I do have an iPhone too, but it's not like it's not functioning as well. And it gets too hot too soon. So for a while, I relied on my webcam, which I did buy like months ago. It's okay, but the quality, just seeing the video feed now, or seeing the videos that I was able to record with this iPhone, even though it's not like the most recent one, it's so different. Like the quality is something that I actually like, and it seems watchable in my eyes. So yeah, in the background you can see me draw a. I'm gonna loop this video like it's on repeat, so I'm not sure where I began, but I'm essentially trying to draw a bunch of random, or I try to draw from random strokes, and then I find what I can see from those random strokes. I think all in all, I did about like 6 sketches in this format. Not all of them were to my liking. I think out of 6, maybe 2 or 3 were kind of good, kind of okay in my eyes, but it happens when you're trying to do a bunch of different like ideas, sketches. If you're trying to experiment, explore, not every single one of your explorations will be of quality, but maybe in the next batch I'll try recording something with reference. But for the following videos that I'll be uploading, most of it or all of it is going to be from imagination. This thing that I'm drawing kind of looks like an Evangelion, or it's my usual thing to draw. Like I can tell this sort of head design is sort of based from that head. I think the Ava one, I believe. I think so. But it's not just that. I'm inspired by other artists like Nivan Shantara. If you look at his designs, it has this mix of mecha plus creature designs. Like it's a mix of both. Another guy I would recommend would be maybe Thomas Estepanyan. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but I believe he's French. And I think Anthony Jones would also be a good one. Oh, and also, excuse me, when doing these sketches, not only do I do them within a range of like 5 minutes or 7 minutes, because it does take a while, or I'm not comfortable with recording for long periods of time on my iPhone or on this new iPhone, only because it can heat up. I mean, it's not as bad as like my old iPhone, but I just don't want it to heat up. And I've noticed if I keep recording, like the longer I record, the more hot it gets or the more warm it gets. So I want to be on the safe side. But aside from that, when I do upload the videos and download them and such, it just takes too long for that process to happen. So the longer the video, the longer that process will be. So I'd rather just keep things short. And also, I'm trying to be natural, right? If I'm not the kind of person, not the kind of artist who likes spending too much time on art, meaning, for example, if I'm drawing this piece or painting this piece, like I want to move on to something else, then why spend like an hour? Why not keep that session short? Because if I like an idea anyway, I can always go back to that sort of sketch, and then I can add some details and whatever. Total time for this thing, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's 5 minutes and 46 seconds. So it's not that long. So yeah, that's kind of why I do these videos somewhat short. Okay, so it's on repeat. It's looping again to the beginning. So I start out the sketch with some loose lines, and I do stick to one brush. Oh, I also changed the size of my canvas because I think it was lagging a bit because of the bigger your canvas or image size, it's gonna lag when you like paint. So you want to keep your page somewhat manageable. So yeah, so I think when I did these sketches, I was focused on, like, for each sketch, I would limit myself to just one brush, and I think it's a good thing to do because if your sessions are short anyway, I think adding more brushes to your toolset, I think it just adds more confusion, it wastes more time. And by actually limiting yourself to like one brush, you're sort of you're more likely to be focused on the form and such, and you're just not going to be wasting time too much on the illustrative, artistic, like flair parts. I mean, you can do this or this kind of thing in longer sessions when you have the time, but if you're just trying to find ideas, explore, experiment, you want to be somewhat direct, somewhat bold. So keeping your tool set simple to the point where you just use one brush, I think, is the way to freaking go. Color choice, sometimes I try to keep it either like my habit is analogous, number one. Number two, not in order, by the way. Complementary, meaning if I pick a color from one side, I just go to the opposite side to sort of find the opposite complementary hue, but that's it. So analogous, meaning the colors are sort of right beside each other, or the hues rather. The hues are opposite, meaning complementary. And then the third would be like monochrome, meaning it's one hue. It's usually just black and white or grayscale, but one hue, and the diversity there comes with the values, not so much the hues. It's super easy, like you don't even have to think too much. And I think you don't waste time, because I think when you do color in the very beginning, it can be somewhat confusing. So you want to, even when you do have colors, I think it's important to keep it simple, meaning you don't try to include every single hue in your painting. You want to find or determine at least your local colors, like your main base colors. Again, you can always add to it, adjust it in the future, you know, when you do decide to invest more time on that sketch, on that idea, on that painting, on that doodle. Now, the thing about these types of things is it doesn't always end up nice. I'll be showing some videos here where, or in the next following videos, where the thing that I draw isn't as appealing to me, and that's kind of the thing when you do these sorts of random doodles. Like it, because you're not doing something specific, you're sort of allowing yourself for, or making yourself open to random results, right? If you don't have anything, if you have unspecific goals, you will have unspecific results. So that's kind of the price you pay when you do this approach. Now for me, I'm doing this, number one, because it's easy, sure, but number two, I'm trying to figure out this setup, right, where I record with my iPhone. Well, it's the video first. I do like a sketch, whatever. I limit myself to about 5-7 less than 10 minutes, and then once I have a batch of those videos, then I do a voiceover. To be honest, I actually did voiceovers for all, I think 6 of these videos, but the audio was fucked up, so that's about an hour's worth of audio. I was talking like for an hour or more, but probably more. I had to delete it because, or delete the voiceovers, because it just wasn't clean enough. I effed up with one of my settings in my kind of voice meter audio thing, so it kind of pissed me off. But you know, it is what it is. It happens. And yeah, I think I'm gonna stop the. You know what? It's only been 8 minutes. It's not that long. We'll try to go for 10 minutes, something like that. I noticed how it's just easier to sculpt things. I've noticed with with one brush. And I do prefer a brush that, like, even if you go big or small, it's still readable. That's why I think people like the round brush. Like the basic round brush can achieve this. So obviously it's kind of boring to look at. So maybe you can use it once in a while, but eventually you will want to explore and add like, or have texture brushes or painterly brushes, whatever. But I think if you want to start and just get like the hang of things, starting or having or using a round brush is a good way to go. Now this brush doesn't have a lot. It can be opaque, but it's not as opaque. Like you can blend a little bit with it. Like it has a little bit of opacity. I think it really depends on the amount of pressure I put in the pen. And the brush is set in like a directional mode. So for those of you who have Clip Studio Paint or Photoshop, you know what I mean. And yeah, I notice how I'm not really thinking about the design too much. I'm just sort of following the flow, and I think it's a good thing to sort of consider when you're doing these things. Don't try to be so like forceful with the end result. Just focus on keeping your hand moving, keeping your stylus moving on your canvas, on your paper, or on your sketch paper, whatever, and make sure you're drawing within that time limit. Let's say 5-10 minutes, whatever. Add other limits like one brush, limited color palette, and if you just follow those things, you will create something that, again, because of this approach, not all of the things you produce will be nice or cool in your eyes, but it's a numbers game. Eventually, you will come up with something that looks pretty cool. And again, even if it's not perfect, you can always go back and work on it even more, right? So I think I'm going to end the session or the voiceover here. Not a bad session. It's actually what I was actually very happy with this sketch, and I think it's the reason why I was able to do more. Just because I felt confident with this one. I think in the end of the batch, I also made it in my last sort of sketch. I think I was like, I ended the whole session happy. Like in the in-between sketches after this specific sketch, I was kind of losing faith in myself because the forms were kind of, it took quite a while for me to find something out of those random strokes, which can be a struggle. So I'm going to talk about those in upcoming videos, so you will actually see what I mean. But yeah, that's so far, this is what I have, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.